Tonight on Joining Prime, body of toddler who drowned in torrential rains that has left parts of Kumasi inundated Wednesday night retrieved.
I have approached them on several occasions. Apart from that, I have officially reported this to the Metropolitan Assembly, but no action has been taken.
The home of a former mayor was also caught up in the floods. We'll be bringing you an update on the situation even as the city experiences more rain, with the new KJTR market also taking in water. Authorities at Commander Senior High Technical School unavailable for comment on allegations a teacher subjected a female student to severe lashes that left her with a bruised buttocks. A minority in Parliament accuses government of opportunism over its use of middlemen to procure COVID-19 vaccines from Russia.
The Sputnik contract signed between the Ministry of Health for and on behalf of the government of Ghana and the third party is not in the interest of Ghana.
Still in Parliament, Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee directs that 2 ministers who failed to appear before a Thursday be surcharged with the cost of its sitting. In business, oil goes shopping for a new partner for the Deepwater Cape 3 Points project after ExxonMobil's exit.
For their status. What we have done as a company, yes, we have accepted it, but what we have done is to continue to explore and to look for other partners who can partner us to be able to continue.
And later in this bulletin, Rich Hospital urges the public to donate in support of complicated and expensive surgery to separate twins conjoined at the head. My name is Prime. Joining Prime is coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle on your digital terrestrial TV, because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 144. This is your home of independent, fearless, credible and impactful journalism. Do stay tuned in. Many thanks for choosing us. Let's begin with the body of a toddler named Mohammed Awal that was Thursday morning retrieved from flood waters that left parts of Ashanti region capital inundated. The floods that carried off the toddler followed 3 hours of torrential rain Wednesday night. Nana Ojima reports a former mayor of Kumasi, Samuel Sapon, is among residents whose properties were affected in that flood.
A search party from the Accra Municipal Assembly, together with family of the toddler, found the child's lifeless body few meters from the scene of the incident. In his first year of assuming office as city mayor, Osei Esibe Entry earmarked a demolition of about 400 structures built on waterway, but no action has been taken yet. Paraku Estate in the Insheso constituency is one of areas affected by the rain due to blockage of a waterway for building projects. The private developer, according to residents, has filled up the waterways and demarcated them for sale. Former Ashanti Regional Minister Samuel Sapon, whose home was affected by the floods, says attempts to stop the development have yielded no results.
I have approached them on several occasions. Apart from that, I have officially reported this to the Metropolitan Assembly, but no action has been taken.
Mr. Sapon explains his administration commenced a demolition exercise which should have continued.
We realized that people have actually built on the banks of the river, and that was the reason why it overflowed its banks. We arranged excavators and bulldozers. We went there and they demolished almost every building around that place. But now, just go there and then see.
Areas such as Daban, Patase and Atasumaso in the Insheso constituency were submerged. Traders at the Atasumaso market, one of the affected areas, spoke to Joy News.
Ye nini ma bia ho ai be say ye dwane nyina akọ. Ye ntimi ye hwe kura ye bedidi. Ye nim be bia kura ye beda.
Everything I sell was destroyed by the flood. We will plead with city authorities to find solution to this. They should help us. Drainage is poor here.
Assembly member Ejay Kusibodum says poor drainage and building in waterways have been identified as the cause of the flooding.
Last year, when there was a flood, mayor, NADMO officers, engineers, and other dignitaries were here. They made an assessment, and the engineers told that there are some burdens that needs to be removed to give way for the water or for the flood. But though they are taking steps, but as at now, that's what they report. But as at now, I think they are on it.
Meanwhile, some residents of Durban have part of the walls to their homes destroyed by the flood. Residents say the challenge started after the construction of the road, which affected the drainage and the filling of a waterlogged area by a private developer. Mercy Ampofo explains.
So it's been a beautiful neighborhood. And the person across me too has a very good control of his property. So it was beautiful. So all these structures started springing up. And then when I complain, it's like we are doing rezoning. Rezoning in waterlogged areas? That is my problem now.
For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
The rains have continued to pour with more communities getting flooded. Joy News is learning the new KJTR market has taken in water and the traders are having to scoop out water from their stalls. Nanaya Ojima joins us with the very latest. Nanaya Ojima, what's the latest with the rains and the accompanying floods in Kumasi?
So for the second time in 2 days, we are experiencing some floods here again in Kumasi. Major parts of the city have today again been submerged by the water. Now, in the central business district is the worst affected part. Adum a moment ago were flooded. It was so bad, it just subsided a bit, but still a lot of the people here in the central business district are finding it very difficult to get access to vehicles to their homes. It's because there's a lot of vehicular traffic in the city today because a number of intersections in the Kumasi metropolis are flooded. For instance, we have the Aloga Junction area flooded badly, and also areas like the airport roundabout are also flooded. Sawaba, an area which was flooded yesterday and resulted in the death of one boy or a toddler, is also flooded. So a number of areas in the city are flooded, and it's becoming a very, very bad situation for the people here. Now, as you can see, there are a number of people behind me trying to get vehicles to access, to get to their destination. Now, the problem is that a number of the commercial vehicles are overpricing because of the challenge that, because of difficulty in accessing vehicles. For instance, areas that used to cost 5 cedis or lesser are now costing 10 cedis, and it's very bad. I'll try get to speak to some of the people here and let them tell us their experience, the challenges that they are facing today. Papa, good evening. Pacho, I have found out corner Ubajina so pekache.
Me kwa tunsu. Mbejina check Accra.
I did be saying.
Kobe 1 hour.
Na me to say ebo hard drivers ne ba no more pie ebia atonsu, but na prices no a chain near the be omoje no.
Omo ya ne sa jam obo. Born ma, ono so on kasa okwa atonsu, ba obelo du blue. And I say as of market. Sabaso okwa atonsu pa de on kwa atonsu.
So and to be making short trips.
Short. No, yes, it's kana ye bebre. Amen.
So according to this gentleman, he's trying to get to Atonsu, but he's unable to secure a vehicle that will take him to the destination. But the vehicles that are also coming in are making short trips. Instead of going to Atonsu, they will make the trip in short trips, like 3 short trips to the destination. So instead of paying, say, 5 cities to Atonsu, you end up paying more. That's the drivers are exploiting due to the situation that we are experiencing in Kumasi. Daddy, na ehe fana oko?
Atonsu.
Na enu na nso na iri. Enti enu na ka hunti na hwe Atonsu enamunya ka.
Sa.
Na so any area
that be you know Putoja. E wana ne nso na yiri. Enti wo ma about as well you.
Officate tell about.
Run about to the no nyina yiri. Ba yes I call Dr. Mensa ba de ni nyina atwe. And he said the hot is how free na can nya bi nko. O me ya wo de go say e kwa Atonsu o me de go say askwa brewery. And na me ejina ha ye peka.
So he is also going to Atonsu, and according to him, he's coming from the Kejetia area, and the place is badly flooded. But when he went there the second time, things are normalizing. But the fear is that the vehicles will not want to ply Atonsu and its environs because of the flood, and also because they want to make exploit the passengers. Some of them are making the trip in 3 different parts. They've broken the trip into 3s, taking money.
Yes. Do we know what the authorities are doing for persons who have been displaced?
Now, today when I went around, it was difficult for me to find a NADMO on the ground. But the information that I'm picking is that there are some NADMO officials on the ground, and they are trying to help those who have been affected by the flood. Now, the information we are also picking up is that city authorities are still meeting on the current situation in the city, and very soon there will be a clear guideline on how they are going to manage such a situation.
Nana Ojema is my colleague reporting from Kumasi. Joseph Potofi is also Deputy Director of Forecasting at the Ghana Metro. He joins us live. Mr. Potofi, I'm grateful for your time. Are we to see more of the rains, especially in Kumasi and Accra?
Thank you and good evening for having me. Yes, we are in June, some few days to get out of June. So we are in the peak of the rainy season. So we are expecting more before we get out of it.
What are we expected to do to avert some of the, being victims of some of the floods that we are experiencing now in the event it happens?
Well, I think most of us know where we live, and then we also know per number of years, we know where there are flood-prone areas. So as I was saying today, I said we should all advise ourselves, if the rain starts and you know where you are living is flood-prone area, either you find a shelter somewhere and stay. As for the flash floods, they will come, especially in the cities of Accra, Tema, Takrady, those cities, those big cities, because of infrastructure, their resilient level has dropped. So in the olden days, if we get about 100 millimeters of rain before Kumasi will be flooded. These days, when you get 40, 30 millimeters of rain, Kumasi will be flooded. And those floods are flash floods. I heard one of the guys saying that when you go to the roundabout, it was flooded, but now it has subsided. So people just have exercise patience, wait for some time, the flash flood will get down, and then they can move to their homes. There are also people who by this time know that their homes are in the flood-prone area. They must find somewhere to go and stay so that at least when the rains are over, then they can come back, because any little rain that will occur tomorrow, and the system that is over Kumasi, and then how do we call it, when Chi and virus, it will persist and will produce a lot of rain. So if you're in a flood-prone area, we'll advise that place. You get a relative, or you move to a better place. I think NADMO should come in here because they handle those things. They have surveyed and they know the flood-prone areas, and they also know where they create shelter for the victims. So for the flash floods, we have it in Accra and Kumasi, and the big cities. Flash floods will always be with us.
Let's look at the next 48 hours. Are you able to give me a forecast for at least Kumasi, Accra, and Tamale?
Yes, the next 48 hours, they should still expect some rains over both Accra, Kumasi, Cape Coast, Koforidua, Sunyani, and Ite Barons.
I'm grateful for your time. Joseph Potterface with the Ghana Meteo. Now, 7 persons have been arrested in connection with the disappearance and murder of 12-year-old Cornelius Negle at Nonyekpo in the Agoti Meziope district of the Volta region. The suspects include Hono Kofi Koko, a spiritualist, Anane Koku, Senanu Ashito Achikpo, Kwame V. Kagbeto, Louis Eche, Kojo Akpachu, and Fianyo Sandema. According to the police, 5 of the suspects have admitted to playing various roles in the abduction and killing of the deceased for ritual purposes. Briefing the press, Volta Regional Police Commander DCOP Edward Odro Kwarting indicated the corpse was delivered to the shrine of Hono Kofi in Nodowokope in the fulfillment of a promise by Senano Ashito Achikpo to make available human parts to be used in performing sacrifices in building a new deity.
On 26 May 2021, police gathered information to the effect that suspect Senano Ashito Achikpo acted in concert with 2 other accomplices to really abduct and kill Cornelius Negle for ritual purpose at a shrine at Kofe near Chedulu. Police extended investigation to the said shrine but met none of the collaborators at the shrine. On 31st May 2021, police returned to the shrine at Kofe to effect the arrest of the abductors and also rescue victim Cornelius Negle. But unfortunately, the little boy had been killed and the head severed and buried in one of the rooms, and the body kept in a sack which was heavily infested with maggots. The body was inspected by environmental officer and the police, and it made that the intestines, kidney, heart and penis have been removed. One Sanya motorbike registration number M19PR1340 used in conveying the body of Cornelius Negle, 1 pair of black slippers belonging to the deceased, recovered from where the killing took place. A single slipper recovered from the shrine at Kofe belonging to Senanu Ashito Achikpo, a set of dresses belonging to Hono Kofi Koko, but recovered from Senanu Ashito Achikpo. It is worthy to note here that because Senanu had his clothes drenched in blood, he requested Hono Kofi Koko to issue him new sets of dresses. This was done to avoid any suspicion. 1 duster belonging to Anani Koko was also retrieved from the shrine. All items received are retained for evidential purposes. When Hono Kofi Koko and his assigns learned of police pursuit, they escaped to Aflao and eventually crossed the border into the Republic of Togo. On 18 June 2021, police secured warrant of arrest and extradition order from the court to enable the arrest of escapees suspects in the Republic of Togo. On 19 June 2021, Interpol Togo succeeded in arresting Hono Kofi Koko and his brother Anani Koko at Boga in the Republic of Togo and extradited the 2 to Ghana to assist in investigation and subsequent prosecution, while suspect Morris is still at large and is being sought for.
And back in Parliament, the minority is accusing government of opportunism over its use of middlemen to procure COVID-19 vaccines from Russia and has filed a motion seeking a parliamentary probe into the matter. The minority is also demanding a bipartisan parliamentary probe into the Frontier Healthcare Services deal for COVID-19 testing at the Kotoka International Airport. Minority leader Haruna Idriso has been addressing the media.
Accountability, you must demand it. Ours, even as we relate to the facts, You must go behind the facts to get more details. You have already heard the recent response by the Minister for Transport on the floor of Parliament on an urgent question on how a private company, Frontiers Healthcare Services Limited, was chosen. Noguchi could have performed this role at least cost to the state of Ghana. Is a loot and share for family and friends at the airport as far as this transaction is concerned. They probably have raked in a colossal $16.3 million for charging travelers $150 per person. It was further reduced to $50 if you were a citizen and an ECOWAS citizen. And we are told that out of the $16.3 million, the Kotoka International Airport and the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, which is the partner in the relationship, only got $1 million. So what kind of agreement is it that benefits only a private sector individual? He goes home with $15 million, yet you expect us as Ghanaians to make a contribution to a COVID trust fund. You could generate these resources. This money could have come into Noguchi. Noguchi could have strengthened their institutional capacity for purpose of investigating many of these public health malice in our country. Yet they are going away. And even these numbers, we are relating it to passenger numbers, and it doesn't write up. So the media sit up and investigate this. How many Ghanaian passengers have entered the country in the last 1 year? Multiply it plus or minus 150 or plus or minus times $50, depending upon the citizen. But this is a complete rip-off of the state. You enter into a contractual agreement, I'm giving you the space, and we are raising this because Ghanaians who are affected, some struggle, and I give you this genuine example, not out of the politics of it. I was boarding a flight from the Emirates to Accra. 2 Ghanaian citizens were stopped just at the point of embarking on their flight because they couldn't show evidence of a Frontier ticket that they had paid the money. So this is a Ghanaian who is returning to his country. Probably his parent could meet him at the airport, make the deposit of the $50 because it's possible that you could be traveling with less than $100 in your pocket or $50 US. They were stopped, save that they had evidence that they had paid and showed the receipt for purpose of check-in. We are concerned about government not being sensitive to the plight of poor Ghanaians who may be returning home to the country as a result of job losses because of COVID, only to be charged for COVID, only to benefit a private player and not the Republic. We are concerned about it, and we think that you must probe further into this matter. As you know, this transaction was characterized again by the Nana Addo Dankwa government lack of transparency and accountability. When you ask them, they say, oh, COVID, emergency. So under emergency, our procurement laws must stand still. Is that the case? That because there's COVID in Ghana, our laws should not work?
Let's now speak with Parliamentary correspondent Joseph Opoku Gakpo. Gakpo, it appears there's been quite a lot happening in Parliament today. What has been the reaction of the majority to the issues that have come up, particularly the COVID-19 issues raised by the minority?
Let's start with that. For those on the majority side, they say they're waiting for the Speaker to eventually admit this motion in question and get it moved on the floor, and they will then put out the official response. But they appear to very much disagree with the very idea that a parliamentary probe should be instituted into this. First of all, they make the point that this is something that the Transport Minister has been in Parliament to respond to questions in relation to and offer the necessary details on how much has accrued and provided details on the work that Frontier has done and who has gotten how much from that. And so this whole push for an idea of a parliamentary probe may not exactly be necessary. And the bit having to do with the Sputnik vaccine, the point they make is no money has been lost, and so then why will you be probing if you institute a bipartisan parliamentary probe?
How about the surcharge by the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, James Klucha-Aveji?
First of all, we've gotten some responses on Joy FM a little earlier in the evening on Newsnight from some officials at the Ministry of Works and Housing. The minister himself has been explaining that he had directed his chief director to write officially to the chairman of the appointment of the Public Accounts Committee about his inability to show up today. And he was a bit surprised that that letter didn't get to the committee chairman before the sitting was called, and the chairman was unhappy with his inability to show up. We're waiting to hear what again would happen. But the other defense that's been coming from the majority side is that usually when the ministers are unavailable, their deputies would come represent them at the sitting of the committee, because the laws actually are very emphatic that a minister or the deputy has to lead any agency that's coming to the Public Accounts Committee. Because the deputies have not been sworn in yet, then it leaves a bit of a gap in terms of someone representing the minister when the minister himself is unavailable, which may have contributed to this. But they're looking forward to resolving this tomorrow, and we get the hint that it's likely the two ministers may show up tomorrow, when the committee would actually be meeting officials from the Energy Ministry and also the Education Ministry, as in the two ministers for roads and highways as well as works and housing, may just come around tomorrow to offer some explanation and seek to purge themselves of the anger that is being poured out from the committee following their inability to appear today.
Have you since spoken with the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee?
He was very emphatic at the sitting of the committee that they want to send out a clear message that you can't take the committee for granted.
But after the response from the ministries you talk about, have you been able to speak with him?
Not yet. We're waiting to hear what he will say tomorrow when the sitting resumes.
Joseph Opoku-Gakpo is my colleague and correspondent at Parliament, watching out for us. But Chairman of Parliament's Public Accounts Committee, James Aveji, has charged the Works and Housing and Roads Ministries for the costs incurred during its sitting on Thursday after the two ministers failed to show up. The two ministers, Kwesi Amoakwata and Francis Asenso-Boakye, had been invited to appear for a probe into the 2017 and 2018 Auditor General's report. And unhappy Mr. Aveji directed the Finance Department of Parliament to compute the costs incurred for the botched sitting for the two ministers to pay.
Public sitting of the committee, and with the attendance very encouraging, I urge members that we continue with this attendance so that having listened to the members of the committee, I'm sure we'll be doing a very good job in the interest of this country. So you're welcome once again, and then we'll want to invite the witnesses to appear before us. Are they in? The first one is the Works and Housing, Minister of Works and Housing, and then Minister of Roads and Highways. Do we have them? Colleagues, we have written to the ministries to appear before the committee. We did not get any one at all to appear before the committee for interrogation. Those powers we have under Article 103 of the Constitution. Now, this is the decision. The cost that Parliament incurred for organizing this today's sitting must be borne by them, by the two ministries. I don't know how much it costs Parliament. I'm not sure anybody here knows, but the Parliament account section will definitely compute their cost, and they will be surcharged. The two ministries will be surcharged with the cost that we incurred, including the media, in terms of the time that the GTV have also spent.
Still to come in this bulletin, authorities at Commander Senior High Technical School unavailable for comment on allegations a teacher subjected a female student to severe lashes that left her with a bruised buttocks. In business, Goyle goes shopping for a new partner for the Deepwater Cape 3 Points project after ExxonMobil's exit.
Stater. What we have done as a company, yes, we have accepted it, but what we have done is to continue to explore and to look for other partners who can partner us to be able to continue.
Business comes up next. And welcome. It's time now for us to do some business news here on Joy News Prime. My name is Gifty Andopia. Ghana's local partner for ExxonMobil's Deepwater Cape 3 Points project, Goyle, is on the lookout for a new exploration partner for the abandoned project. According to Goyle, it is still interested in the oil field despite the move by the main exploration firm to pull out. The oil giant abandoned the field last month due to some risk factors. There is more in this report.
Goyle was chosen as the local partner for the America exploration firm with 5% interest after a thorough vetting process to work on the Deepwater Cape 3 project, which is expected to produce some large volumes of crude. After a careful assessment, ExxonMobil announced to government its intentions to forgo the field due to reasons including the high-risk nature of the field. Chief Operations Officer for Goyle, Alex Aziu, explained to shareholders at its 52nd annual general meeting that Goyle had engaged the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC, to get new partners. According to him, it has no option than to accept the decision by ExxonMobil since this will not distract its investments.
The risk that was put on this exploration was quite high, so ExxonMobil felt that there was no need to go further and drill a well because they thought that the reserves as was reported was not enough for their stater. What we have done as a company, yes, we have accepted it, but what we have done is to continue to explore and to look for other partners who can partner us to be able to continue with this. It happens all over the world. Sometimes, yes, you find a main operator going off, but you can also get an operator who will come in, and then the prospects might be completely different. So this is the option that we are pursuing as a company.
Meanwhile, Goyle has maintained a dividend of 0.45 cedis per share, same amount as last year for shareholders. This is despite recording a drop in profit by more than 14% for the year 2020. According to the board chairman, Kwame Nabatels, the loss in profit after tax is due to the adverse effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on its operations.
This significantly reduced demand for fuel during the second quarter of the year, which in turn led to a fall of approximately 3.2% in volume of sales during the year compared to the previous year. Despite the falling demand, the company was able to handle both operational and financial activities, bringing into balance credit from suppliers, cash flow, and stock movements.
Goyle also declared its intentions to help with the Year of Roads agenda by government with the completion of its ultra-modern bitumen plant expected in September this year.
And banks say they have made significant progress towards meeting police deadline of having all vehicles for carting currencies fortified. The Inspector General of Police earlier warned that the banks risk losing their escort if they fail to do so by the end of this month. The warning followed recent attacks on bullion vans, resulting in loss of lives. Some of the banks have expressed reservations about this move earlier, but Chief Executive of the Ghana Association of Bankers, John Ewa, says initial agreements have been reached with the police on this issue.
Work is underway. As an industry, we are putting our efforts together as one unit. Of course, we have several of the soft body vans in the system, and we also have a few of the armored bullion vans. What in the interim operationally we will do is to make use of what is available as we go through the processes of procurement to augment the numbers.
Basically, you're dealing with what is in, and also there was even talk that we can even, why don't you fall on the Bank of Ghana and some other institutions that may have these things in place to rent-wise as well?
Yeah, all the options are on the table, but as I said, discussions are, happening in the background.
So I think this has put quite a stress on the industry, but you are working hard towards to meet this deadline.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you are the 2023 timeline and it's been rolled back to 2021 and we're given quite a short window to comply, then it's stress in the environment. But that is what you are paid to do. So work is currently ongoing to ensure that.
Now, mobile lottery firm 787, after its latest super jackpot record, has rewarded a Techiman trader, Jacob Afarikasa, 20,000 cedis in the just-ended draw. Draw 81 held on Saturday, June 12, 2021. Find more in this report.
Excited Jacob expressed gratitude to the 787 lottery and urged all to partake in this week's super promising jackpot.
Very happy and excited. It's my belief all the time. Because I started this then almost for so many weeks. At times I will win 10 CD, at times 10 CD. But I was still having hope that one day I will make it. So when I make it, I'm very happy. I will encourage everyone to participate because it's surreal. And so encouragement. I use only 5 CD and get 20,000 Ghana cedis. So I'm so happy, and I will advise all my friends wherever they are working me, especially my people at Boku, Binduri, to participate in this one. It will help us.
The head of customer experience, Richard Akutubanfo, at the event announced Star 787 hash guarantees an extra 1,000 cedis win for 5 lucky players at a purchase of tickets before 12 midnight every Friday.
This Saturday, we are looking at a jackpot value worth 305,000 Ghana cedis cash down. This is your moment to take all of these prizes home. All you have to do is to load your mobile wallet and dial star 787 hash, and you will stand a chance to take home 20,000 Ghana cedis guaranteed unique prize and a 305,000 Ghana cedis jackpot value prize. With that aside, you equally stand a chance to win 1,000 Ghana cedis this very Friday, aside of 200 Ghana cedis on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. My friend, this is a life-changing opportunity, and you stand a chance to win all of these big jackpot prizes with only 5 Ghana cedis. What are you waiting for? Just pick your phone now and play.
That'll be it for business this hour. I am back after 8 with some more. Maisha Ibrahim will continue with the news. My name is Gifty Andopia.
Showbiz, BB is here. Beautiful Becky.
Hello to you, Aisha.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Friday, Saturday, we have VGMAs.
Okay.
So we have the CEO of Charterhouse telling us about why the VGMAs is now 2 days, and a few categories have been added to this year's VGMAs. Let's listen to her.
Yeah, the VGMA going forward is now going to be a two-day event.
Any reason?
Well, does it mean that now for now, we cannot have programs with large numbers running for more than 2 hours. So and the VGMA runs about 4 to 4.5 hours. So we decided to split it over 2 days, and so that we would respect the protocols. Maybe when everything settles down regarding COVID-19 and we are back to doing our full capacity of events, maybe we'll go back to the one-day event. But for now, in the near future, it's going to be a 2-day event, 2 hours. I will give out some awards and then come back the following day for another 2 hours. So it's a weekend. Best African collaboration. Yes, I think that's a new category. And I think there's also Afrobeats artists. Afrobeats Artist of the Year. Yeah, and then we also reintroduced music for development. Yeah, so it's called, I think it's coming back as Music for Good. Yes, so those are new categories, of course. And of course, the Industry Titan awards, honors that we've just presented today at this summit. This is just to capture the other players in the industry, in the ecosystem, who may not be captured on the night of the event. So that's also new additions for the event.
Teresa Ayoade, the CEO of Charterhouse. Hopefully, we'll see who wins what come Saturday and Friday.
Is it Shatter or Stonebwoy?
Shatter and Stonebwoy are not part of the awards, Aisha. Let's move on. Let's talk about e-vibes. Yao Sapon story is still showing this weekend on the Joy News channel and on the Joy Prime channel, Aisha. So during the trip, we visited his family house. We spoke to his brother, and guess what?
In the Ashanti region?
Yes. He has a lot to say about Yao Sapon.
medase abusuan mu de ana krum ha de obia onim ya saponkora abremu de onim se woyɛ dwunti Nyankopɔn akyena enyonto ezie wo do feeling kra ase a o start kasa no and o start enyonto nti ono na tipensofo no oboaboa wo mu a o se watese nyema wo de ntuntura na wa group wo mu na wo kyerɛ wo mu nyom esa nti wo de nyomto no feeling kra abremu ana abegusa nti abusuane de anase krom ha de bie woni no bie nim se Nyankopɔn eche na de na o de firi so aba.
The attending or TV so radio I interviews be brave but they be na or kitam or why nim now you're stubborn papa me gaza ne maybe a bit of fa I said you sir maybe sir already just yes, we be nya onye o de no onye bra. O yes what the ball. Oh. What the ball. Wow. Enya sankitwa. Na wonim panyini ena wonim akola. Edi kroma de ubusi obia. Edi asemba na. Ya we good. Ya ni me ofa ba ko. E fren ko de yansem. Asi ya ye bodi do. Parce que dia tout de bien maison. Let that so. There was a video kasa na obewa. Sa now I didn't know you so or see my no be just ya ye bodi Please me na baby now baby. If you quite say you know ya me nuanom so me man ko mbabo. Give baby a bit in your fire, good mother. I would have been No.
Legendary answer for right there. I shall see you tomorrow.
Thanks so much for bringing us Showbiz, and that'll be it for Showbiz. But there's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com, and there's also more news on Joy News right now. Now to the rest of our stories. A student of the Commander Senior High Technical School in the Commander Edina Eguafuebiri municipality of the Central Region has been left with badly bruised buttocks after she was allegedly subjected to severe lashes by her house mistress. Sarafina Mensah, a boarding student, says she was given 40 lashes by her house mistress after she left the campus together with a colleague without an exit. She says she was caned by her colleague and was not punished.
Ano numre be 5:30 to 6 na me auntie frame me so why aduane ama me ntino memra na me meje aduane me famba entimi kon me nko a na me ntumi nko timi de madamfo e kan ho na me ne koe ye koe na eje aduane no nsuo no toye santi at this time na me auntie sio yenda na homachi ukojan na yeko school se na be ya betumi akọ class me auntie be jan ye be school ye be dware ye ekọ class ena obi ka chen say madam hwehwe enti ye call madam no ni we owo ni bangalo ye call na madam ni ho na ye san ye call class ye pun school no na madam esmo prefect ba ko say o me friend bra ye call na madam say ye mo ho na ye bo ho no bisa say ye call he na ye chechirem say dia mekan na say ye koji aduane ye call town ba ye call ni ntumi amba na madam say obegwo yin na mini madam for obegwo yin 30 na me ka che madam say 30 there ya me anim nukwe ni ntumi nji it is the rest of the semester no dey on punish me a kopim time am we school madam say dabi enye me na me ditemi ade a onye enye me na me chere na ade onye ntini me yedi minim se ma ye bone ese me ko town a me nkita eziat ntino kan me ni bibia ye timi butu ho na madam ohye me wie no edu baby na ma bre me ntumi ndi biom etimi sorry ese me nji aba na biom na odi aba no ehye me kon se ma anye de mutu na wan hye me a odi aba no begu wo na wa papa maso me ni bibia ye obo me 40 ni na kan obo me 40 nti aba ni sa na madam fu no suo nti aba no wentumi anje na madam kan say or kind 1 2 so kan we na madam fo na mba ne de no be ni 60 no kind 1 2 no so madam fo no be na ne de ni 60 na madam fo no say onje ti ona e bone na wa ento ko fe ne maame aba e na opia abonten na me di meto no e ko che madam say madam she dia wa ye meto na o ka che me say me nche me nta na ade nchi na ade chi a makọ infirmary na o ma hwe ama me na me si me o ka sa no me ntumi ni ni ya no anya me de na me call senior house mistress wo say madam shadia madam ameska ayemeto na no so no so nti ase na no so de me call assistant head mistress bangalo na e call no so say ma me nka asem no enchi.
Richard Kwejanyako has been following the story and joins me with more. What more do we know about this, Richard?
So, Aisha, what we do know is that the Municipal Education Directorate launched an investigation into this very matter, and I understand that the investigative report is ready and has been made available to the Municipal Education Director. And then we are told in the committee's report that the girls spent 2 days. For 2 days, they were away from campus. And so when they came, yes, they've also indicated that there was some caning, but the teacher in question said that she did not count the number of canes that were given to the student in question. And so, yes, all of these things indeed happened. But the conversation or the narrative around this thing has been that corporal punishment has been banned in our schools. But in place of it, there is no code of discipline that has been given to the various schools by the Ghana Education Service. So it's become a very huge topical issue. But as to whether but when I went to the school, the teachers there told me that Madam Amasika is a very nice teacher, and they do not know why this issue should even happen in the first place.
We understand the matter has been reported to the police. What have you gathered from the police?
Well, so the student was led to the police station by her aunt, and so they went to report the matter to the police. We do not know what has become of the case now, but all that the police tell us is that they are investigating the matter. In fact, they are investigating a case of infliction of harm to the student. And so the police are yet to come out with a definite conclusion to the investigation they are also conducting.
Have you been able to speak with parents of the girl?
Well, so when the matter broke, the girl go back to the parent. You heard from the narration of the girl that when she was beaten, she showed the bruised backside to the house mistress who caned her, and then they went to the senior house mistress, and then to the assistant head mistress. But when all of these did not yield any result, she went to the parent, and then they accompanied her and then lodged the matter to the police.
And what have school authorities been saying about this?
Well, so today there have been a series of meetings from one place to the other. You know, the investigative committee set up by the District Education Directorate was also on campus. And so they've been holding a series of meetings. But the head tells us that she's not been given that permission to speak to the media because the matter has been taken over by the District Education Directorate. And so they are waiting for them to speak on the matter, especially to the committee's report that is ready.
Kwejanyako is my colleague, correspondent at the Central Region. Now, former Power Minister Kwabena Donkor is accusing government of trying to intimidate him. He says an announcement by the Attorney General that he will petition the CID to investigate him for the GPGC power contract is misplaced. He says just as the raid of his house over the Mary deal in 2017 amounted to nothing, this probe will equally not go anywhere. He's been addressing the media in Parliament today.
Then you don't know Kwabena Donkor. Yes. The village boy called Kwabena Donkor, you don't know him. You were all here with their Mary. They raided our homes at dawn. It amounted to nothing. I act in the best national interest. If anybody disagrees, he has the right to investigate. But you don't sit on national radio as the Attorney General, the #1 lawyer of the nation, and try to intimidate people like me. We are not intimidated. I should explain why they terminated the contract, and not just the termination. You see, every contract has termination clauses. Did we go by the termination clauses contained in the contract? The panel says no. I'm not the one saying. The arbitration panel says no. And this position has been upheld by the court in London. So we even went about the termination wrong, assuming without admitting that there was a basis for the termination. Read the report of the arbitration panel. Read paragraphs 479 and then paragraph 490. Dr. Hinkra, whose report was allegedly the basis for termination, could not defend the report. He says he's not sure that he even made that recommendation. And that is why I'm giving you the exact paragraphs. Paragraphs 479 of the report and paragraphs 490. So the whole basis of even termination is questionable.
Away from the issue of judgment debt, the Ghana Immigration Service is teaming up with the police, military, the Ghana Revenue Authority, and other security agencies in the revived operation, dubbed Operation Conquest, along Ghana's land borders following insurgent actions in neighboring countries. This operation is aimed at protecting Ghana's porous borders and preventing the infiltration of terrorists. Some of Ghana's neighbors have recently been hit by terrorists. A fortnight ago, terrorists killed 130 Burkinabés in Burkina Faso. Controller General of the Ghana Immigration Service, Kwame Tuaktichi, says they will do their best to ensure that Ghana remains secured.
And in fact, as I speak now, we have what we call Operation Conquest Fist, where we have the military, the police, the Immigration Service, Ghana Ambulance, Ghana Revenue Custom Division, all positioned at the various parts of the country. When you talk of porosity of the borders, we have intel on the ground, we have our men on the ground. The government is doing its best to make sure that these terrorists don't enter into our country. And it's very important because you asked about what Ghana Immigration Service is doing. Security is a shared responsibility. When you travel outside, you'll find that the citizens also play a part concerning security of their country. We have done our best. We've engaged the communities to report anybody or any person or group of persons that look unfamiliar in their community, and it's working. It's not everything that I can tell you openly. So, but we are on the ground working. I will entreat that citizens, Ghanaians, should also play a part in the security of the country. The security forces are doing their best up north through the commitment of the government. Right.
Kwame Tuaktichi revealed that over 37,000 non-citizens have been intercepted since President Akufo-Addo closed Ghana's borders in March last year.
Because since the borders were closed by His Excellency last year, March, we have intercepted over 37,000 non-citizens trying to enter Ghana through the eastern frontier, the northern frontier, and the western frontier. So you can just imagine our men are doing their best.
Meanwhile, the Controller General has also warned officials of the service who demand and take bribes from non-citizens and allow them entry into Ghana, saying such officers will be dealt with when identified. He also warns citizens to volunteer information on non-Ghanaians who try to enter the country, although he insists the majority of his personnel do not demand bribes.
People always try to give bad news to matters. They don't say the good things. They don't say, not tell you the good things. You cannot say that one or two immigration officers have involved themselves, but like they say in our culture, in our language, yeah. But you look at the impact. It's the impact that you have to look at, and not that one or two officers have been alleged to collect money and allow people to come in. If we get that information, we will deal with them in accordance with our disciplinary regulations. As simple as that. And the officer also know that you are caught, you'll be dealt with.
Residents in many communities of Accra are beginning to feel the pinch of erratic water supply. For 5 days, many consumers have been burdened with either buying water in large volumes from private vendors or walking long distances to buy from smaller vendor points. For small businesses like hair salons, the situation has forced owners to close their shops. My colleague Manuel Cranton visited some of the affected areas and now reports.
It's day 5 of the acute water shortage that has hit most parts of Accra. The Ghana Water Company Limited explains that this particular challenge is as a result of a reduction in pressure from pumps at Wager. But within the communities affected, this really is the scene. You have bowls that are now used as water reservoirs, or people having to wake up very late at night to watch as the taps flow in bits. We're here to speak to a few of them to get a sense of what this particular situation has been like and how they have been managing, at least for the past 5 days.
I'm going to get 3 days. Sheba man can't mo 3 o mo no banyo te shimla le banyo ne kushiko te shimla lo na eko
o sani nya shikpe ni ta pipe ni pipe ngbe yo
fane shiami
ye shiami no akenu eke ba po eminche
emi ewo muji denche no ele mi ewo muji sto ba fete no ni de ho sani ofole na kan no
no nya ke fo ni ahe ne ngbeje
o no mene ni wo fo man kemi pipe ni wo fo man kemi no eko
sono ni ke fio
ya o shingmene le hin fio ekopo machine jeme.
So she's just pointing at that particular bowl that is being used to store some of the water. She explains to me that they've had to wake up at dawn to watch as the tap flows in bits to be able to salvage just a bit for what they do in the day. Oh,
to ba fete. Isa no mechanic ba no onye kunu ke phone bi ai. Oh, ja na ka no ba fele fiu bai.
So she says that they've had to, keep their clothes for a while just to be able to get water to wash. But there's bigger, impact. I've been speaking to some hairdressers who have had to close down their shops or sit hopelessly as they watch clients come in and go out because of lack of water.
Me a hairdresser. And so na me di ejuma, ba se so ni ho aye ntumi nye ejuma no. Chisi nye nso ansa na etumi aye ejuma no. Nti no se obi ba na se wuni nso a wodi be ye ejuma na. Se bi nipa no ntumi nkose nso mfiri ni fie mfa mba se jina fa ye ejuma na sa jiska. Nti no oba obeko.
Nti de bia oba
Omuba no moko because me ni nsuo. Ejuma na collapse because it's a wuni nsuo a wodi be ye ejuma. Se nsuo na ye de ye bibia, nsuo na ye de washing. Ansa na wetumi aye ne a wo be ye. Nti se wuni nsuo a wodi be ye washing na nimpa no oba a obeko. Na se bia manante fi adabraka aba bedu ase. Na makwa akose nsuo 50 pesos say almost 5 cedis say 10 cedis a day. Na me koya na se me buy.
Kwade ma e buy no sunsunsu a e ba be 1 o'clock no bo be 1:30 and try poto and ya so no so na eguti de mu esi wo say ya wen so na ma to an sole a unya bi ti ya wen ti 1 o'clock and kwa sister ba call the next house no friends say yen ko hwe na e bank akra e de bucket be say bucket 4 and try and maybe and kwa nya poto ya top yota ne anu mo ya top yota 3 days bi am top yota 5 cedi na me de egu na ma no e san say ka ni ma ya me nya bi ntoy pipe ni de mu nya kuranti ntime no mo asu.
Plus, the entire community bears the brunt of this particular challenge. But there are those who are cashing in, rightly so. They sell water here. What's your name?
I'm Joshua.
Joshua, you sell water here. I mean, Is this for the entire community or something?
Yeah, people come from far away, from Accra. I know a lot of people, they come from really far away.
So is it a regular thing that happens, you know, with the water shortage?
Anytime there is water shortage, people come around to fetch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. So you sell to them or it's for free?
We sell, and it's sometimes it's even expensive than the tap water, the one running out of, because we like money. We've been taught to like money, yeah.
And so you like money. But don't you think you're exploiting people?
If you take it to be an exploit, that's up to you, because we think we are making money.
And as we're just talking, somebody who has come and is fetching. Madam, who's neighbor?
No.
No, okay.
I'm close the street and go the corner there.
So your water is not coming at home?
Yes.
I see. How long?
3 days.
3 days near in soon by into the Biahana Mumbesansu. I see. To we'll be here saying, bucket nursing.
Bucket 20 pesos.
To Ubeko a day will cost
6.
A day will cost 6. I see. So she's just explaining to me that she lives just across the street, fortunately for her, but as water shortage hits, they are here to fetch water and she pays 20.
Well, the Ghana Water Company Limited has been offering some explanation. Yes, PRO Stanley Mate speaking to Daniel Dazi on Joy News today.
We have been having some power challenges. Power flow to our water treatment plant has been irregular. As a result, it affected 3 out of 4 of the pumps that we use at the treatment plant. So for the past 5 days, we have been working around the clock to repair these pumps and then put them back to use.
Right. So your pumps got damaged because, quite simply, Doomsol visited you?
Something like that.
You don't have a standby generator at the Ghana Water Company?
No, our pumps are such powered by a standby. Generators are most of the time unable to give us stable energy or stable power at the high voltages that we require. So the best is to get it from the grid. And that is what we've been doing from time immemorial. ECG and Gridco are doing their best to give us power supply. Unfortunately, they have some challenges at certain times and it affects us as well. But we hope that these challenges will end and then we're also going to get a stable supply. Then we can treat water consistently.
When are customers in these areas to expect stable water supply to resume?
I wish I could say something, but I think I'm reluctant to do that because yesterday, for instance, we managed to finish one of the pumps, and a few hours after we put it back into operation, it broke down again. So I'm reluctant to mention timelines. We are working around the clock. We are making sure we are not leaving site until we have all pumps back in operation and then pumping at full capacity. So can be assured that we are doing finish the repairs of the pumps, and then we can supply the way we always do.
Stanley Mate is PRO of the Ghana Water Company Limited. In the next 4 years, Ghana expects to improve feeding, especially among women and children, so that issues of malnutrition will be curtailed. This will be done through a World Vision project, which will offer the child all the needed nutrition in the first 1,000 days of his or her life. Currently, Ghana records stunted growth in at least 1 in every 5 children, according to a UNICEF 2021 report. A program to launch the 4-year project was announced today, and Hannah Dame has more in the following report.
Malnutrition has been highly recorded in some districts in the Upper East, Ashanti, and Bono East regions. The World Vision believes this affects the development and academic growth of the child. In response, the humanitarian agency will be offering supplementary foods to women and children who are under 2 years old in target areas.
Many women know that after the age of 6 months, they must give complementary feeding. But the type of complementary feeding that we are giving to our children is not quality. Okay, so the purpose of this project is to introduce nutritional supplement that the mother can give to the child even at that very age, and at the same time introduce feeding diversified feeds onto the homes. So that's what we are improving. We are supporting farmers.
National Director of World Vision Ghana, Dickens Tunda, is hopeful the program will eventually enhance nutritious services across the country.
This project, therefore, will help these children reach their full potential to make sure that they are productive citizens of this country.
About 5,000 households will benefit from this $2.86 million project funded by the Japanese Social Development Fund. A representative from the Japan Embassy to Ghana, Oyama Hiromoto, talks about the sustainability of this project.
We continue to work with Ghana and other partners to ensure their children receive the support for their optimal development.
For Joy News, I am Hannah Odami.
Groundbreaking surgery to separate Siamese twins conjoined at the head will give the Ghana Health Service the opportunity to cement the credentials of Rich Hospital as a health tourism destination. This is according to Medical Director of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, Dr. Emmanuel Strofenyo.
It will go a long way to promote the image of the hospital, especially being a government hospital. That will show that being a government hospital and also hospital being managed under the Ghana Health Service, it will be a big boost for Ghana Health Service. We all know that of recent, Ghana Health Service has been in the news for all the good reasons. The way they manage the COVID situation, everybody is praising them for having done a good job. And this will be another feather in their cap. We also do know very well that the Ghana Health Service haven't done series of searches have identified the Greater Accra Regional Hospital as the health tourism center of the appointed the Regional Hospital as the health tourism center of the Ghana Health Service. And we have been looking out for opportunities to showcase what we have, what it takes to function as a tourism center. So we are looking at not only West African market, but any other markets within the African continent, so that those people who have to travel to, let's say, South Africa or even India can rather come to the Greater Accra Regional Hospital and have their surgeries done.
The twins and their parents are currently residents at the regional hospital while they await the separation procedures, which will last between 12 and 18 months at a cost of at least 3 million Ghana cedis. The medical director said the hospital is already doing a lot to support the family.
So we have a crack team of neurosurgeons. Already, Rich Hospital itself, we are endowed with 3 neurosurgeons. We are endowed with 3 senior neurosurgeons who have very good track record. And there are some other reasons that we're going to also bring some neurosurgeons from sister institutions to support them. And they are also looking at the need, probably they may also fly in another neurosurgical consultant who has experiences in handling such situation to come and superintend over the whole exercise that will take place in the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. And this will still be cheaper than sending this baby together with the family outside. If the need arises, the worst scenario will be for them to fly in one person who has a track record of having handled very similar situations, and then we are ready to go.
Parents of the twins and the medical team have been desperately appealing for public support to fund this life-saving procedure.
We go out and ask for help. People will help us to do the surgery for them.
I'm asking for help. I want Ghanaians to help me, anyone at all, abroad, UK, everyone at all to help me in this mode. Yeah.
The number is 055-261-3553. And the name on it is Samuel Ado, the father of the Conjoined twins.
We'll take a break. We'll bring you part 2 of business.
And on to some more business news. The Ministry of Food and Agriculture says the Togome Irrigation project is expected to generate over 30 million cedis annually. Speaking to the investors conference organized by the Ghana Commercial Agriculture Project, Chief Director Patrick Robert Ankobia said only 4% of the potential of irrigation in Ghana has been realized, hence the need for investment. There is more in this report.
Acting Chief Director at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Patrick Robert Ankobia, expressed optimism as he briefed investors that the Togome Irrigation project is expected to generate some amount of money annually. He, however, stressed that the prospect of the irrigation system in Ghana is hardly explored.
We expect to see resourceful commercial farmers taking advantage of this opportunity to increase economic activity within the project area and consequently increase paddy rice production levels by 14,000 metric tons, create 12,000 direct and indirect jobs, and improve incomes and livelihoods. Expected annual revenue from direct farm operations is estimated at over 30 million Ghana cedis. In addition, the project will generate demand for downstream activities, including aggregation and haulage services, agro-processing, packaging, and marketing services.
Team leader for the project from the World Bank, Dr. Shehu Salau, said the irrigation project would change the narrative of irrigation schemes underutilized, urging investors to fund the project to help achieve the goal.
We want to change the narrative of irrigation schemes that are grossly underutilized. And that's why we are bringing in investors from medium to large-scale farmers who will, work with our smallholder farmers, bring them, integrate them into the global value chain, and also generate a lot of employment and economic activities in the communities around there.
Meanwhile, coordinator for the Ghana Commercial Agriculture Project, Dixon Tre, is urging government to concentrate on building production capacity in the agricultural sector. According to him, the country's productive capacity is very low, hence the continuous losses incurred along the agricultural value chain.
Our productive capacity is very low as a country. It's not the financial, it's the productive capacity. That's why when we take money from bank and go into farm, we make a loss. What we need is to build the capacity in terms of soil, in terms of agronomy, in terms of seed. We can only do this two ways. We are people who have the capacity, let them bring them in and partner them so we learn. For a period, we will take over. Or identify those who are capable and also build them as examples and let the others follow.
The Togome Irrigation project is expected to provide 12,000 direct jobs per year, increase direct farm income annually from 1,000.
Now, the Managing Director of Republic Bank Ghana, Farid Antar, is making a strong case for a sustainable greening and beautification of Accra. According to him, there's a need to position the capital as not only a financial hub, but also conducive for trading among member states of the African Continental Free Trade Area. He spoke to Joy Business at a signing ceremony between his outfit and the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to adopt the AU Square for greening and beautification.
The Accra Metropolitan Assembly, AMA, signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Republic Bank Ghana to adopt and green the AU Square in Accra. This follows a call by the mayor to corporate bodies and individuals to adopt green and beautify open spaces in the city, in line with a sustainable greening and beautification project which was launched in September 2018. Speaking to Joy Business at the signing ceremony held in Accra, Managing Director of the Republic Bank Ghana, Farid Antar, underscored the importance of the exercise to trading under the Continental Free Trade Area.
We did
some greening in the University of Ghana. We did planting of trees. We want to get into this whole reuse, recycle aspect of it. So it's really in pursuit of the global ambition of climate action. I think what it does, it's, there's a psychological position behind everything. So it enhances our own view and vision or feeling of the African people, of the African culture. And being the seat of the Secretariat is important to show that we are not just Ghana focused, but we are African Union focused. It's a broader continental message. And that's why we want to keep it active with the different cultural mixes that showcases what Africa is. So it sends a strong signal that this is not a Ghana seat, but this is an African seat.
Meanwhile, the mayor of Accra, Mohamed Ejesowa, expressed his appreciation towards the bank's decision to support the sustainable greening and beautification of Accra project. He is optimistic the project will reduce the encroachment of public places.
A couple of years back, Kolu Klote Municipal Assembly was also created, and we are quite excited that they've seen the vision and decided that we should partner to do all these things. So we are doing it also with some other municipal assemblies as well, and we're looking at the city-wide. The objective of this is to make sure that our open spaces, which are oftentimes encroached upon, ceases. So let us make sure that the open spaces that we have within the city, it's beautifully lawn, beautifully greened, and then you have flowers around those areas.
The Sustainable Greening and Beautification project will be executed in partnership with Parks and Gardens.
Well, next we take you around the world for an update on the business news making the headlines. For business tonight, I am Gifty and Apia. We'll do some sports and then Aisha Ibrahim will continue with the news. We'll catch you again. I will catch you again tomorrow, but for now, the news continues.
Hans Bain-Sando here, time to bring you the second installment of Sports, and Black Stars assistant captain and Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey is confident of a better showing in the upcoming English Premier League season. Partey, who joined the Gunners from Atletico Madrid for £45 million, has been speaking to my colleague George Adu Jr. about his debut Premier League season, his new foundation on the Black Stars.
How does it feel to be back home?
Yeah, it feels great. It's been a long time, you know. After hard work, it's been good. Great to come back home.
Right. And when you see the young ones, when you come back home, knowing that this is where you started everything, how do you react to it?
Yeah, I feel it's part of it. You know, I've been through. I grew up here. I know how it feels. and I see them happy, and for me it's a great joy, you know. They have a great future for sure. You never know what will happen, so I think they should keep on, you know, enjoying, doing their best, going to school, believing in themselves, and then try to give them the opportunity to, you know, be what they want to be.
And the super clash on Sunday between Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko is delicately poised after Hearts of Oak beat Legon Cities by 2-1 this evening at the Accra Sports Stadium. 56 points apiece. Hearts and Kotoko Hearts are on top by virtue of their superior goal difference. Mark the date, Sunday, the 27th of June is what everyone is looking forward to. In the meantime, you can read more sports at myjoyonline.com/sports. My name is Hans Mensando.
And that's how we wrap up the bulletin tonight. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Many thanks for watching. PM Express Business Edition is up next with George Riafe. Do enjoy the rest of our programs.